You were in high school when the Titanic sunk. You are out of touch with today's kids. So, Sean, you must be part of the Gen Zs because you guys don't read. You don't know nothing about history because the Titanic sank in 1912. What you should have said, you were in high school when the Challenger exploded. You are out of touch with it. See, you don't know your history or current events because you should have said the Challenger. And you probably don't even know nothing about the Challenger being exploded. So that was corny. If you're gonna try to come for me, make it land and make it good. That was corny. That was corny. All right. So Pastor Jamal Bryant slams his own church for accepting Target donations. Georgia Pastor Jamal Bryant has called out his church for accepting $300,000 donation from Target following the retailer's decision to phase out diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. That was this year when they did that, when Target rolled that back. So I want to play this clip here of his Sunday sermon talking or trying to call out the National Black Conference.
Man who took the cross off of his shoulders and took it up the hill. Y'all forgot when Jesus was born, they hid in Egypt. And if they hid in Egypt, he couldn't have had blue eyes and blonde hair. But the Bible said he had hair like lamb's wool and skin like bronze. Look at your neighbor and tell him you look like God. Something is wrong today. Something is wrong today for those who try to hide Jesus just in classism, who tried to hide Jesus in elitism, and something has got to break. You mean ain't none of them evangelicals gonna say nothing about us bombing 3 different bases that had nothing to do with us? You mean nobody is gonna say nothing about us spending $47 million for a parade that nobody showed up to? Ain't nobody gonna...
Let me pause it right there. Because he was talking about the military parade on June 14th that President Donald Trump wanted to honor our military, all the branches. That is nothing to criticize or to belittle. That was money well spent. That was money well spent. Because our military allows us to be pampered poodles here in America, United States of America. Our military allows us to wake up and enjoy our coffee or to go get our cappuccinos or to go on our hikes or to go to our Whole Foods. We don't have to worry about no Golden Dome, intercepting missiles, none of that. Because our military makes sure that we don't have to deal with that. So I have a big problem when people insult our military. Because that was money well spent.
Don't say nothing about how the Trump family's net worth has gone up by $5 billion in the last 6 months. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about him lying about the airplane that ain't even for the U.S. government, but is for his own family record. I declare unto you today, I'm a free black man. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Somebody gotta say something.
I want to say something. I want to say Trump isn't the only one making money while he's in office. All the Democrats, all the Republicans, except for the ones that already came in very wealthy, well, they increased their wealth. Everybody in Congress have become wealthy. So if you're going to slam Trump, you need to slam your party. You need to slam Al Sharpton. And you need to slam yourself, because pastors are the biggest legal pimps out there.
Gotta say something. For the last 18 weeks, we've been boycotting Target. It said there's no way in the world we going into Target where black people were spending $12 million a day. We said to Target, you got to do 4 things in order for us to walk into that store. Is that you got to invest $250 million in the black banks. Number 2, you got to honor what you said to George Floyd's family and invest $2 billion in the black business. Number 3, you got 27 of these stores on white campuses, but not one at a HBCU. You ought to partner with 6 HBCUs with their business programs so that young people will be able to scale their business and do a national franchise. We said to you that you got to reimagine what DEI is, and absolutely 16 weeks later, you didn't deliver to us. Even after we made your stock drop, even after the CEO salary was cut by 42%, even after you lost $12 billion in valuation, but you thought you was gonna go around me and go to the National Baptist Convention and sell out for $300,000. Are you crazy to think that we gonna sell out for chump change? You must not know who we are. Our Father is rich in houses and land. In 1961, the National Baptist Convention was.
I want to pause it right there for a second and dissect what he just said, because he's a liar. He's a liar. And here's the thing. If he's saying that for the last 18 months, that's this year, they've been boycotting Target, right? Target has not put a Target store in HBCUs, but they have put it around PWIs. Well, newsflash, because Target incorporated the DEI policies under the Biden administration. So Jamal Bryant and the Al Sharptons and everyone else over there on the liberal progressive Democrat side, the Roland Martins, all of them, why didn't you guys pressure, boycott, and hoop and holler to Target to put Target around HBCUs when Biden administration was in office? Because the Biden administration are the ones that created this whole DEI for corporations to get extra federal funding. You know why you didn't? Because you didn't care. You didn't care until Trump came into office, and you didn't like Trump. And Target DEI program was really catered to LGBTQAI plus. Because prior to the Biden administration, who ushered in the DEI policies, Target was already allotting a lot of their shelves to Black businesses. My father asked me today, when you going to Target, because I need a lint brush. I'm not boycotting Target. For what? Because you say so? Because Al Sharpton say so? Al Sharpton goes to Costco's. Okay. Is Costco's center around any HBCU? Do Costco's have programs for HBCU students to come in and learn about the business? No. So why are you bigging up Costco's because they didn't get rid of their DEI programs? Well, their DEI programs were not catered to Black Americans. Target was catering to Black Americans before DEI policies even existed under the Biden administration. Now, I want to share this because he did say Target stock went down, and that's not true. That's not true. Target, okay, a day ago, minus 0.63. 5 days ago, it was up 1.7%. A month ago, it was only down 0.09%. 6 months ago, under the Biden administration, when Target still had their DEI policies, their stock was down 39%. Well, technically 28% here. Minus 39 was equivalent to 28% minus. That was 6 months ago. A year ago, their stock was down 33%, minus 49.84. 5 years ago, 17%. This boycott is not a boycott. It is some pimp preacher, with another who linked up with another pulpit pimp, Al Sharpton, just to complain, to push back against anything Trump has done. And now Target is the bullseye because they didn't affect Target's bottom line. Target did not lose business. Target did not see a decrease in customers, specifically Black customers. They did not. Now he's talking about the CEO. This is why I like AI. Well, the CEO, Brian Cornell, he saw a total compensation drop 45% in 2024, Pastor Bryant. Not in 2025, because 2025 is when you started the boycott 18 weeks ago. He got a cut in 2024. See, this was already projected. So the 2024 compensation for the year ended January 31st of 2025 was $9.8 million. His peak compensation in 2020 under Trump was $77.5 million. But under Biden, it was slashed by 45%. What the hell is this man talking about? The lies. It sounds good when you're doing a lot of hoopling and hollering. It sounds good. But the numbers don't lie. The data is not lying. His data is not computing. Target ended all of their DEI policies January 24th of this year. The CEO salary was slashed last year. Target stock has been down since last year, actually 5 years ago, all throughout the Biden administration. This bullshit non-existent boycott is exactly what it is, non-existent. Black people are not making a dent because they don't care if Target got rid of the DEI policies. As long as I could go and get my toiletry products, the Black woman who created like the panty liners and the pads is Black owned. I forgot her name. Oh my God, and I forgot the name of the products. I just know it when I go. But it's a whole bunch of Black beauty products and other products, especially for the face, glow, or whatever. They have a whole section. As long as they are keeping the Black business in business, I'm not boycotting shit. They didn't give those Black business people who are putting their products on shelves their marching orders. They didn't kick them out. So why would I protest? But all of my products that I love that are Black owned by a Black owned company are still at Target. And this is why all this hoopling and hollering is just a feel good, a nothing burger that makes you feel good in that moment.
Was meeting and they did not want to support a young preacher from Georgia named Martin Luther King. They said, you speaking too loud about civil rights. We don't want you to do all of that. Just preach and sit down. Don't march. Don't make a stand. Don't challenge the government. And as a consequence, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Gardner Taylor walked out of that church and started the Progressive Baptist Convention, where we come in full circle. And I need you to know it wasn't just the National Baptist of America. It was also the National Baptist of USA. It was also the Missionary Baptist. It was also the Church of God in Christ. And the $300,000 was not per institution. They gave them Negroes $75,000 for them to just sit down and roll over. Not me, Jack. I called the president of the National Baptist Convention. I said, Rev, we can't go out like that. We are selling ourselves short. He said, Jamal, give me a couple of days. Let me get the board together. I said, bro, you can get your board together, but Sunday morning I'm going to the mic and I got to say something, and you got to give me something to work with. He said, Pastor Bryant, give me a couple of days and I will do it. I said, you got 1 week to send me in writing that the Baptist Convention stands with the boycott, stands with the oppressed, stands with the marginalized, stands with the nameless and faceless people who are on the front line. $75,000 Baptist Convention, I'll write you a check. You can't sell yourself out for $75,000. Something has got to break.
And his wife back there hooping and hollering like his cheerleader. Like, that's crazy. I could never be a preacher's wife. Because it's like, dude, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And I'm actually going to do a video on the business of religion. Because they're all scammers. Martin Luther King, what? Yes, there were a lot of people who did not like him. There were black people, prominent black people, who didn't believe in him. But that wasn't every black church. That wasn't the Black Church Inc. organizations that were against Martin Luther King. I don't believe nothing he says. I don't believe nothing Al Sharpton says. I don't believe nothing these people say. It's just a whole bunch of yelling, hooping and hollering, and fake Holy Ghosting. And I'm going to break all that down. All of the dirty deeds. Not just the black church, of all churches. The dirty deeds. Dirty deeds. Because the National Black Church Convention, they're not giving that money back. That's $300,000 for their convention. Why would you give it back? That's stupid. Why would you give it back? Now, what if those churches that took that money, that convention that took that money, what if there were a dozen of entrepreneurs who already are doing business with Target, having their product on the shelves? So that's why are you encouraging black people to boycott their own? There are a lot of black products in Target. A lot. So Pastor Jamal Bryant is full of shit. He really is. Lying on the CEO. Yo, you don't have that kind of power. You don't have that kind of influence. The only people that's dealing with Jamal Bryant is the people that go to his church. You sitting up on Cam Newton podcast, complimenting, talking about something. He got some nice, smooth legs.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh, man.
And they lanolated.
Man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, jergens.
Oh, you see that?
They glowing in the dark.
I'm just Just
Y'all
nourished.
zoom in. Do not skip leg day.
Don't do that.
Do not.
Don't do that. Sometimes you got to remind people, like, it's okay, but the work has to be done.
Oh, listen, it's evident. It pays
you know
off.
what I'm saying? I'm back eating right, trying to live right.
Yes.
I done purged my tongue since last speaking with you.
Yeah.
So I don't curse no more. I try not to curse no more. I had a
Wow.
flare up the other day, but
Yes.
who's keeping count?
I'm not.
Other than that, man, life's good.
Nigga, please. But you want us to follow you? And boycott and Target or anything else? Hell no. Hell no. Like I said, my father said, when you going back to Target? Because I need a lint brush. I said, I'll let you know, because either I'm going to go to there tomorrow because I have to make my little errands. Yeah. Honey, let's get to Candace.
They ain't know what your data. They ain't know what your data.